This is the male of a pair of great horned owls that showed up in mid-January of 2020, and the two of them came during the very late afternoons, some for a couple of weeks, and then they were here a lot of the nights. They were here for a few days and then left and came back again after a few days. The male would spend a lot of time just calling and kind of just fidgeting with the nest. Most often, he would show up an hour or even 2 or 3 hours before the female would. Here we'll shift into nighttime, and the female had shown up, and she got very close to the camera and couldn't figure out what the camera was. Apparently, she's not familiar with them, not surprisingly, and kind of gave a crazy face here. And then after a while, they had their first mating encounter, and then several more through the night. He would immediately fly away after each mating encounter. After a while, the male would leave, and then she could call him back sometimes, at which point they would have some kind of pre-mating affectionate time of nuzzling and whatnot. We saw them mate about 15 times or so, and once we saw them during the late afternoon daytime about 100 yards away from the nest mating. It was just that one time, though. After that last encounter, about 8 hours later, shortly before dawn, he brought her a rat. And frankly, she seemed way more excited about the rat than all the other shenanigans that have been going on. After the rat delivery, he took off and then she took off. And frankly, that was the last we've seen of them. It was about 10 days ago. We don't know if they'll be back or not. We certainly hope so. The nest is warmed and ready. And maybe they'll come back for us to lay eggs and nest there.